Hi everyone. Hi everyone. This is Ilyasa Simpson, aka Coach Illy, aka Minister Charles. So tonight we have the Kings on deck, and we wanted to keep it real simple tonight because I wanted to have a little bit an intimate conversation with some kings tonight. I just wanted to stop by this evening because it's Thursday. Kings are here on Thursday. Where is my king, you ask? We are here. They are here. Okay. So every week we have a talk on Thursdays with men who have topics about men. So I am just a host here. But we are going to put it on deck tonight because today we're going to talk about, when you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, each generation has their own swing, right? So as we grow older, and then we have the generations behind us, what does that really look like? Is there a communication gap? Is there an identification gap? We want to know what's the gap and what we lack, because sometimes all the generations do not gel. And it's like, okay, one generation has this language, the next generation has another language. But we're going to bring it all together and see how can we gel a little bit better, because it's conflict out here in the universe. And the charge room was all about love, and we're all about communication. We're all about finding ourselves and walking in our truth. So, like this page on the charge room on Facebook, and share this page right now for this discussion, because I know whatever age group you are in, there is someone in a different age group that is a kind of a challenge to communicate with them, or you bump heads, or your energy is off when y'all get in the same room. Like, I want to talk about that tonight. I know women have it and we talk about it, we go through it, but it's women stuff. But we're talking about the men tonight. So we're going to talk about King Talk tonight, right? So again, like our Facebook page, The Charge Room. Follow us on Instagram, The Charge Room, and subscribe to us on The Charge Room page of YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube page. So everything we have recorded over time since August, since we started, it's all on YouTube, right? So if you missed an episode, never miss another episode again, because we are here on YouTube. So subscribe to our channel and get the notification for every time we are live on YouTube, right? So, and not to mention, I am an iHeartRadio talk show host every Sunday. Every Sunday, I am on iHeartRadio from 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yes, Easter Sunday, I will have a special show for y'all. So, stop by iHeartRadio. I always post the link on my page. So check it out. Tonight, like I said, we're going to bring two gentlemen, two different generations, and we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about the generation separation, but we're going to put it together. So today we have King Herman and we have King Dre. Good evening, Kings. How are you?
Peace, Queen.
Howdy.
We good.
Doing all right? Doing all right? Okay, so as we
What's
come
up?
from high school, or high school, pre-K, from pre-K to high school, right? We had a life. Like everybody, posted up. They had their little positions. They knew what they was doing. There's the lingo. There's the music of your time, right? Because I heard y'all talking about, what is in your time and what is in the other person's time, right? So everyone has something going on in their own era, right? But how can we get those eras to sync? That's my question of today. Because sometimes people bump heads for the different eras, and then they say it's supposed to be brotherly love, right? So I want to get to the nitty gritty of where's the brotherly love amongst the black and brown men around here? What's going on?
Shots.
Wait. I'm brown?
What's going on?
I didn't know I was brown.
What separates and creates friction within the male testosterone world?
For the most part, it'd be pride. It's just straight pride. Like I'm in my experience, right? So at work, this has happened this week too. Oh man, right? So at work, there's this guy. He's 58, right? And I'm 32, but I'm leading the job, and he had a major issue with me leading the job. Like, so we get to because I do residential heat and vents and air conditioning. We was putting in an air conditioning system. No, he wasn't. We put in a furnace in the attic. So we get there, and like the first thing he does is just hop out and just start talking to the customer, like walking around for like 20 minutes. I'm leading the job, bro. I'm trying to tell you we need to get stuff started. And he's like, yeah, running around, whatever. So I go in the attic by myself. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. And he come up there and very polite, very nicely. I tell him like, excuse me. So just to let you know, bro, like when we get to job sites, man, it's not really upon you to speak to the customer. It's upon you to start draping out the staircase, draping out the floor, so we can get things started here. Like that's just how I like things to be done. And he's like, what? Don't start with me. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, bro, get downstairs, man. I don't want to talk. You're talking too much. You know what I'm saying? So, because I'm getting upset. Because I'm like, you screaming at me for what? Anyway, so then the supervisor come. We have a whole meeting about the situation. And long story short, the same thing had to be said. Like, yo, I told him he's leading. You have to listen to what he has to say. Like, and the whole time he just feeling fidgety, acting up, being crazy, still talking smart from the mouth. And I'm just like, dang, bro, like, what's that about? Like, we haven't had a conversation about it, so I don't have a resolution yet. But I'll let you know a resolution when I speak to the dude. But yeah, that's something that happened just recently. But it's really a lot of pride, feeling like, oh, I'm older than you. I should be in a position to lead. I shouldn't be taking orders or direction from someone younger than me. Like that's all pride and bravado all the time. Do you have any similar situations, young man?
Oh, thank you so much, dear. Yes, I do, because I've seen it the flip side, to where you have somebody that's seasoned, and here comes the hot rookie. So let's say, for example, I'm Michael Jordan. Here comes LeBron. But yeah, it was something that said in Drumline that always goes back. Before you can lead, you must first follow. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes that disparity, like what you have going on with that guy that's supposed to be working underneath you, but he's older than you in age, he kind of missed that. And I noticed that, even with my generation, when certain people get stuck, society doesn't wait. It moves over you. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I think that's more than less. I would say that, what we're dealing with, from my point of view, but then we do have some people that are younger that come in and want to talk first instead of surveying the situation first. Let's understand. Yeah, that comes, understand first, then prescribe, because it still goes like this. A man recognizes when a leader's in the building, just like a woman recognizes when a leader's in the building. Hands down, just nothing you can say. If you lead and you know your craft, I got to fall back. I got to give you that respect. If I don't, either I'm going to get fired or it's time for me to go. I'll retire.
But yeah, what was we kicking earlier before?
Y'all were talking about music. Y'all were
because I was asking him about. I was talking to him about the big baggy clothes era in the Timberland boots. And do he still come outside looking like a clown like that and stuff?
See, and then we talk to y'all like, yo, here they come. Look, they real tight right now. Oh my gosh, I know what's going on.
Do I smell a hater in the building? Huh?
Nah, it ain't no hate. It's just, like I said, I'm gonna talk from my perspective. I can't do the tight thing, man. I just can't do it.
It's not tight, bro. But it's not tight though. Skinny jeans are tight. I don't mess with that. I mess with slim fit. It's a certain type of cut, right? That fits according to like your shape, and it's not too big. It's not too small. Like it fits correct. And then they have a boot cut type of style you can have like that. You gotta get on your swag, boy. You talking this flavor? You gotta get on your swag. You acting up out here, man. I don't like you.
Hey man.
I wanna say this.
Yeah.
With each era, there is a certain type of slang and a certain type of swag. It's everyone recognizing each one for their own. In my world, I call it meeting somebody where they're at. However, in a man's world, it totally looks different because of pride and ego. Self-awareness, self-identity, right? All of that plays a huge role on how one is presenting, how one is receiving you, and how you want to respond to all of that, right? So, King Herman, you made a great gem. You dropped a great gem. One, a man recognizes when a leader is in the room, right? But second, there's that person getting stuck, and that's that older person as time starts to wear on them. That person that gets stuck in their age and in their ways, because there's people that's my age, and I'm proud to say I'm 54, young.
Do it.
That they are my age, but they're stuck from when I graduated high school in 1985. So sometimes when I see some folk, they have conversation only in the 80s era.
Wow.
They stay stuck in that era, and that's where they live, because that's maybe when they were most vibrant. That's when their swag was fire, their swag was hot, right? And then as they get older, that swag starts to go tilted to the right, or tilted to the left, and they trying to catch it before it tilt, right? So as they're trying to catch it before it tilt, it just they tripping all over the place, and they can't really stand up too well. And
I'm falling, I can't get up.
Right. So that starts to wear on a person's ego, right? And they get a little dampened, a little bitter, a little smushy, like they don't know what to do with that. And their armor of self-defense, their defense mechanisms kick up really hard. Oh, what you looking at? You standing too close to me, or he got a problem. Well, no one's doing anything, sir. You okay over there? So it's like they're creating this big facade that they think that's going on around them, but what are you really looking at? Because no one's looking at you like that. So it goes back to how you're thinking about yourself. What's going on inside your mind that's giving you these emotions to feel that someone's looking at you a certain way, or you're coming at someone in a negative response because of what you think that they are saying or looking at or viewing of you.
Where I see that, where I saw that the most. I'm sorry, you was about to say something?
I have my hand up, man. So go ahead, you finish.
Oh no, I don't want to do that, bro. You was first. Go ahead, Brody.
I'll message you. Nah, use it in the middle of a thought. Go ahead. I'll be in a clown.
Yeah. Oh, that's regular. But yeah, so so I was saying, like, all of that stuff that you were saying, like, that just brought me back to like when I was in prison. Like, that's where you see the stagnation at its greatest. Because like I'm 20 years old and they're 21, and I'm schooling dudes in their 40s, and I'm just like, yo, how could you be that naive to the world? And it's not like they've been in there forever. Like, how could you be that naive to the world to feel like somebody owe you something? Like, it's always, oh, these young this, these young that, these young this, these young that. Like, I always seen that type of degradation, always. And it was kind of like, it was kind of funny at a point, and then it just got sad after a while. Like, dang, bro, like because I did 7 years, so like every year, like I'm progressing mentally. Like, I went to college in there, like I got trades in there, like I did a lot when I was in prison, and it's like, ain't none of y'all take advantage of these things, and all of that stuff was free. Like, and none of y'all take advantage of none of this stuff. Like, you don't see, and it was always, you don't see yourself being better than what you were. Like, that was always the killer mind state for me. So that goes into what you're talking about with the self-identity thing. Like, what you looking at? Like, because it can't be the mirror, because that's going to show you what you really need to see.
Right.
It can't. I always say this, right? It's three people. It's the person that you say I am, it's the person that I say I am, and it's the person that I really am. That's such a hard thing for people to disassociate themselves with, is the understanding that you have to be yourself all the time. You just have to know how to gauge how much of yourself to give to the next individual, because certain levels of stimulus are going to be really negative coming into your forefront. So you got to put yourself in a position where you got to know, like, what's really real and what's really not. And we have such a problem with that. And I feel like my generation does that a lot, because now it's all commercialized materialism, commerce. Like, everything has to be seen, shown, pictures, snap. Like, it in your time, that was take a picture of me. What? Record me. What? You know, that's a major change in the generational understanding of the world. Like, everything has to be seen, heard, taken a picture of, and it has to be broadcasted for the world to see, and it has to look nice. Like, it's crazy. Where's the realness? But that's a major gap from your time to my time, bro. Big facts.
No, definitely agree with you. So I had my hand up because I was going to say, a lot of times too is jealousy. You know, because if you think about it, by the time you get a certain age and you look back behind you, they got better stuff than you. You know, and it's just like, it's amazing. And sometimes the older cats are looking like, yo, young buck, if I was you, I would have did this, this, and this. You messing up. You know? And but that our time to do that, it has passed. And like you said, stagnation. A lot of people choose to go back to that because it's their glory days. That's when they were rocking. That's when they were rocking. Yeah. But you know, like I tell my students, whoever's popular now, you fast forward 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they may not be popular. So, and I tell somebody, like, you know, don't hate on this person just because they're the way they are. Let them be. That's who they are. Either you like them, you rock with them, roll on, but you don't gotta make fun of them. You know, because at the end of the day, as generations grow, this is supposed to happen. This is life itself. Things adapt, things change, and they change for the better. If we look at what's going on now, we finally get to see what's really been happening way back when the baby boomer era with the 60s and stuff.
Right.
You know, we got the George Floyd case. You know, go back to Emmett Till. We didn't really get to see it. We heard about it, but now George Floyd, we got video. We can see this. We're taking a stand. You know, and it's just it just keeps going. It's going to be a cycle. We're going to come together, but it's just like, do we come together now or do we come together when it's too late?
And most people, Herman, and I 100% agree with both of you, but most people, because they're stuck in their era of when they were popping, they have to relive that every single day just so they don't have to reflect in the mirror
and deal with the uncomfortable.
Now they don't want to deal with just like you said, the uncomfortable of Well, Dad, well, what happened to me? How come they don't even say how come I'm not popping now? They trying to convince themselves that they still
It's
that
still popping.
person from
Facts.
1985, right? They're still trying to walk in that path. Like listen, that's old. Close the door. Like there's a newness going on. One, you're older. Two, you have life experiences from then to now that molds and shapes you into the person you are. And then you have to understand that everyone did not make great decisions. That's how we have experiences. That's how we can say, okay, well, that's hot and this is cold, because now you had the experience because you touched the hot flame or fire and then you touch your hand in the freezing cold. You now know the difference. Now, whether you want to make better decisions, that's up to you. But when you have had experience, you now know the difference to create a better outcome for the next time, or just put it on the shelf as a learning experience. And when that situation comes again, you can pull out your experience book and go through it like, okay, well, I went through this already. I know how to get through this without going through torture, without, putting myself through pain. Or how about this? You can see it before it's coming because you really need to pay attention to who you are. But there's so many people stuck in an era where someone that's in a younger generation, instead of respecting them, instead of listening to them, what they have to say, embracing them, they put a wall up. Who this young boy think he is? He don't know what he's talking about. How would you feel if somebody dismissed you and disrespected you in that same fashion? You are never too old to learn. Never. My motto is remain a student always. That keeps your humility.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you remain a student always, no matter what's coming at you, there is a lesson to learn in everything. But if your mindset, this is the part where your mindset matters for you to respond appropriately to the situation, for you to not look distorted into what that person has to say. Because our mindset is stuck in a twilight zone. So it goes back to, are you just existing or are you living? Because if you're living, you're listening.
That's
You're
big.
able to respectfully meet somebody where they're at. You're able to effectively communicate because you're welcoming what this person is saying, what they have to offer, and then you can deliver an equally effective message where the communication vacillates equally and there's harmony within the space. But sometimes when men and even women, you open a door, you come into a party or a room with, with a whole bunch of people are coming together in a group, the testosterone is flying crazy. What is going on in here? So it's like the generations, like, how can we blend? Like, what is really missing?
The simplest thing, a conversation. Seriously, that solves 95% of problems and situations with people.
Absolutely.
Just having a simple conversation. But the whole point is who's going to bring about the first word. You know
the
what I'm saying?
maturity. When does the maturity show up first?
Mm-hmm.
When can we hang up the hat of the ego, hang up the hat of the pride, hang up the hat of the ignorance, and then put on the hat of maturity. When does that happen? How does that flow into a room?
You take self-awareness.
Okay.
You take accountability for your situation, for your actions, the things you say, how you move, what you do. When you learn how to stand on your own too, and put the same amount of respect that you want the universe to give you, you got to put it out. The same type of energy that you want the universe to give you, got to put it out. That's just what it is. I to this point now, I don't see how that's difficult. I just now, but before, there was a lot of resentment. There was a lot of aggression, anger, feeling like I lost time, feeling like you owe me something, feeling like the world owed me something. Like, and all of that was really pride. Like I said before, when like you said, when I started feeling and understanding that I'm not that important, it humbled me a lot. And I say that to people, like, I'm not that important in your life. Oh, why you say that, Dre? Because I'm not. And I don't look at it like, oh, you disrespecting me or it's hurting me as a person. I just know that what you got to do is more important than what I want you to do. Period. So that's the type of energy I move on. I have no problem accepting blame, directing blame, and apologizing for it. It's that's the biggest thing, is being able to apologize and get past the next situation. I for one to be the first to open a conversation. I like dialogue. We can do that with whoever. I'm actually waiting on somebody to give me a conversation.
Listen,
so yeah.
I get, you said a few powerful words.
Mhm.
Taking accountability,
Check.
apologizing,
Check.
and having conversations.
Check.
Simple.
Those are three powerful words that are actually actions. The action words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the action needs to happen instead of just dismissing the words. But it's like you ask just people in general to take accountability. That is so. Let me give y'all an example. Let's say, okay, and this is something that everybody do. Sometimes you on the phone call. I call you back. I call you back. I call you back.
I'm notorious.
Never call you back. Never call you back.
No, nobody call nobody back.
Yeah, notorious. Oh man.
Oh boy.
And then, so everyone is on. I'll call you back. Nobody, and people get busy. So it's how do you look at it? You have the person that takes that super serious and sensitive to it. You said you was gonna call me back. And you didn't call me back. I stayed by the phone waiting for you, right? You done tore somebody all the way up with that one. And then there's the ones that, really don't care. Like, life goes on for them too. And then there's the one that totally dismisses it, like, they ain't even calling me back. I don't know why. You say you're going to call me back. But say like person A and person C are extremely sensitive to that thing.
Oh boy.
You said you was going to call me back. And there's so many people that are like that. See, me, I take it with a grain of salt because I just look at people's lives. People are busy.
Mm-hmm.
They go to work every day. They get tired. They got to come home with their kids. They got to cook, clean. I'm talking about as a woman. They got to cook, clean, give the children a bath, make sure their homework is done. By the time you finish, you'll be dead tired. I don't even want to see my bed. I only want to see my bed. And you could go years doing this thing and end up not calling your friends for years. And it's just how life happens. But some people take that thing seriously where they're like, oh, she's not my friend. She don't call me every day. I'm sorry, I don't have time to call you every day. I don't want to talk to you every day. Let me miss you. How about that? Let me miss you.
Your mom's in my business.
Right. So it's a part like some people are like, oh, I'm not her friend. She don't call people back, right? But I'm the type of person, I don't care if I didn't speak to you for 10 years. I'm going to love you the same way. And I'm going to pick up the phone and talk to you from the last time I spoke to you 10 years ago. And you will never feel that there is a gap in our conversation or our friendship. That's just life. You have to respect people where they're at. But people take it to heart and how they think and where you have to look at where you are at. Sometimes people like that camaraderie where they was like, oh, this is my friend, this is my friend, this is my friend. But say you call them every day, but day 6 you had something to do, then you get mad on the phone because you didn't get a phone call. What in the hell are you mad at? Are you serious? Because I've had it done to me many times. Oh, you didn't call me today. Okay. I had something to do. Listen, my apologies that I didn't call you back at 7 p.m. like I said I was. My apologies. So for me, and then the person doesn't even allow you to take accountability, right? They just cut you off. I have no problem taking accountability. Bring it to my attention because I move around so fast. I forget sometimes. I do.
You right.
And I'm honest with that because I know who I am. I forget. Listen, I'm getting older. Things don't flow like I was 20. So sometimes reminding me is not a problem. But people get angry literally. Oh, she didn't do it. She said she was going to do. Who she thinks she is. Da, 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 da. Yo, I have a lot of stuff to do. Please call me, text me, remind me. I'll do it. If I say this is what it is, trust me, it's what it is. I will do it. I will always take accountability for something that I'm supposed to. But it's a different thing if you in your mind created this and what is really supposed to happen. Now, I had some of that too. So as you saying accountability, that's a big word because people like to skip over that part because they think nothing of it. So just like I said, I'm going to call you back. Something as simple as that can ruin a relationship. So let's take it down a notch. And you were supposed to call your child at 7 o'clock. The child is waiting. The mother's mad. You said you was going to call at 7 o'clock to speak to Amanda, and you didn't do it. You done got not one attitude, but 2 coming at you. Accountability. So depending on the situation, you got to be sensitive to who you're actually talking to when you say that, because people say things so freely out their mouths and they don't think much of the person that they're talking to, and you really taking a relationship for granted. Yeah, but you don't mean it. That's something that's not intentional. But just again, good word that you said, with communication, you have to have a conversation.
You're right.
You know, you hurt my feelings the other day, Dre. I really didn't appreciate you having
Trey.
I don't know why you did that to me, Dre.
She's playing.
You know you hurt my feelings, Dre, the other day. I was really torn. Why did you do that to me? But anyway, that's the conversation. You got to say something. But people be so scared. They're like, Oh, I'm not going to say something. They know they hurt my feelings. Boo.
You
Nobody
don't know.
knew that but you.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that but you. You the only one
Yeah.
that thing. And
You
that
you
really, that hurts a lot of people's relationships.
Herm got his hand up.
you want to hear something funny?
Yes.
That's why we got a lot of mental cases, because that's what be going on.
Yes.
For real.
Factual.
They know
And-
they hurt my feelings. They know because they know. Ooh, don't nobody know that. Only you know that, because you the only one know that your feelings is hurt. And you not telling nobody.
Mm.
And that happens all the time with all generations and both genders.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. You know.
Both
But,
genders. If you stop and start speaking, again, strong word, let's have some conversations. People have to stop being afraid of having conversations. Because if you really look at it, the stuff I cannot stand, how the reality TV.
That's why. That's one.
Reality TV. The first thing they do, we need to have a talk. Everybody needs to, anything that go down, they gotta have a meeting for everything. That's one thing I respect them for that. Now, how they handle themselves after they get there is a different story. But the part where they came to say, well, you know, so-and-so is not feeling so-and-so, and we need to hash this up. Let's go out for drinks. They go for the lunch, the 2x2, 1x1, however they arrange it. They still take the time out to create that meeting. Create the meeting. Come together and have conversation. And whatever the friction is, it needs to be discussed. It needs to be discussed, because so many times things could be misunderstood, misconstrued, tied up in a knot, thoughts that are not reality, people not walking in their truth, people having identity issues, people wanting attention seekers. Like, that's a big thing. Because so many people are lost in their self-esteem in different areas of their life. They may be a boss at work and may be getting abused at home. Or vice versa. They could be getting abused at work and, you know, they the boss at home. People have so many different dynamics and lifestyles all wrapped up in one. It's like everyone wears many hats. Everyone. I don't care who you are. You got a few hats. Even with people dating other people, they got this hat on to be with that person, that hat on to be with the next person, and so on and so on and so on. I knew a guy, he called everybody the same nickname. He couldn't mess it up. He couldn't mess it up. I can't mess it up because everybody got the same nickname. Meanwhile, you seeing 6 chicks at the same time. You can't mess it up because everyone got the same nickname. Everybody got their own swag. Right?
True.
So I
drip.
I just wanted to talk about the disparities between the ages and the generations and how we can do better by taking accountability of our thoughts, emotions, and our actions. Because pride, just like, you know, we summing it up, pride, ego, and ignorance will kill a relationship. It will definitely kill a relationship. So any of y'all have to add anything?
I was just gonna say that I think today what's missing is the middle OG, the one that's kind of in between, and will kind of tell the young person what it is moving forward. You know, we were coming up, we had people that we looked up to were older, but they would come down and drop jewels on us, say like, "Yo, if you go this way, this is what can happen. You go that way, this is what can happen." But it's like now that's missing because of what's happening in the household to a point, and the fact that some kids are raising themselves. But yeah, that's my final thoughts on it. But you know, and some people are sensitive and scared to take accountability, and we hide behind the phone, the text messaging. That's what really has happened now. Dre, it was funny what you said earlier because I was laughing because, you know, for us, Instagram was everybody on your block at somebody's house, and they got that one parent taking photos. Then when you get older, somebody say, "Yo, you remember that? Yo, man, I wish I had a picture." Zing, zing. Yo, don't show nobody that. Don't show nobody that. You know, but that's the only thing. Other than that, it's the same. Because I remember the older church members looking at me and my bands when we was coming up in Sunday school, talking about, y'all can't leave the church. We're like, we just want to go to the store real quick. Can't go nowhere. Supposed to stay here. I love the Lord. But there's no explanation about why, what. So we look at them like this, man, yo, whatever. And we go do what we got to do. But then when you get older, then it's like, you look back at it, he's like, "Dag, I got to apologize to that man. I got to go say sorry. I got to say thank you. He might have saved my life," you know? So it still comes down to a conversation like you talked about. And we got to put that out there. We got to have conversations, and we got to get back to I call it the block party. You know, when everybody can come together, the block party. It's missing.
Right.
We get some skinny jeans too, man. I got you. Wow.
I don't wear skinny jeans, bro. How many times are we gonna go over this?
No, I said slim. I am. I didn't say you.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right,
y'all
let me
bought
rephrase that.
Skinny jeans, bro. One time, and they did not go past my kneecap.
Ooh, you had capris.
Yeah, yeah. I was. Nah, they never got past my knee. Like, they didn't get that far. But anyway, yeah. So, I feel like it's a lot of just self. It's a lot of selfishness. It's not too much showing. It's not too much giving. Like, it's more so I got what I got, and you got to figure it out, or you could pay me to get it. Like, it's not too much sharing of information, sharing of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that too much anymore. Young dudes are more so, I'm gonna get it how I live, and that's how it is. And if you don't like it, you know, F how you feel. Like, it's not too much respect for an individual that has knowledge and applies it in a certain way. Like I said prior, like, individuals are so stuck on being seen and not being heard. Like, it doesn't make sense. So if you don't have a certain level of apparel, or you don't have a certain and people be faking for the gram and all of that, like they got money and all of this. You know how that goes. But if you don't have these amenities that make you like some type of I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but pretty much if you have all of this stuff that makes you look good, then that makes you somebody these days. That's how the younger generation views things. Like I said, there's no more passing the information. So older dudes looking at us in such a way, and they like, I'm past trying to get to you because I feel as though there's no way to get to you. Because a lot of times you coming to me, I can speak for me. A lot of times me coming up to a younger individual to try to give them some type of information, it's always met with, I don't know you, you don't know me, you don't know my struggle, you don't know what I've been through. And it's like, you're right. So let's have a conversation about it. But there's no way to start that because no one's given them that guidance on how to speak on it. They don't know how to talk. It's not an easy thing for them. They're very uncomfortable. Like, and once you put somebody in a position where they're uncomfortable, automatically the wall goes up in a defensive. So you're not gaining anything from that. And that's what a lot of us younger generational type of individuals, we boast on that. Like, you got to be seen as tough, and act a certain way, and being in touch with your feminine side is really frowned upon with these young dudes. It's so much. There's no respect, man. It's no respect, man. Like, that's why the conversation is not gonna happen. Because once you start talking to me like you know me, or you know what's going on, I'ma feel away. Period. I'ma feel away. There's no dads around. I know plenty of single mothers. It's horrible. There's no dads around. There's no older brothers that's giving information you can help with too much. Like, it's a sad day, man. I don't know. It's a sad day. I just do
a whole nother topic.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I do the best I can to be the man that I want to see.
That's another topic.
I know. I'm just saying, man.
But
it get real. Got to be the change you want to see in the world.
One thing I can say to you is that, you know what? Don't stop, because sometimes we think they're not listening. But I've seen it happen with a lot of my students, where they'll come back to me now and they'll say something I said to them when they were young, bugging out, didn't care. So, it's one of those like, we keep watering. It's not it's not up to us to grow them. It's they got the information. It's planted. Somebody else comes along, they gonna tend it. Then when they're ready, it grows. And
it's crazy. I was just thinking about something too. It's crazy. Like, when you were saying don't stop, I don't stop. And I use my life always as an example of what you can do when you put yourself in a positive mind state. So a lot of people speaking to me, talking to me, or just moving around me, you would never know that I went to prison, because I don't move like that, I don't talk like that, and I don't put myself in that type of mind state. But once I tell an individual, younger dude or something like that, that kind of like breaks a barrier. And it's and like I said, it's sad to say, but it breaks a barrier, because it's like, oh, you've been through something. And it's like, damn, bro, why'd I have to go through something for you to hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy, bro. It's crazy.
I definitely want to piggyback on what both of you are saying. How you say, King Herman, to don't stop, and we have to constantly keep watering. That's another reason why I started speaking, because I see the disparities happening, and it's like, it doesn't really have to be, but people have to participate. Just like some person said, a person has to want to handle their mental business, and that's a great point. You have to want to do it. Everything doesn't have to be, I don't give a F, I don't care, no respect, the change in speech, and just not even speaking the English language correctly. That's a challenge. You have to present yourself in certain doors to be heard. And sometimes it's not always, I'm saying, son, it's not always like that. You have to change the language depending on what door that you're in. So just like with me working, I work with people to help them improve their life and lifestyles, right? So say, Dre, I'm taking you for example, because I've been working with you directly for about a year. Every day was not a good day for you, and you went through a metamorphosis to learn how to take your negative to change it into a positive. You changed your language, you changed your walk, you changed your talk, and you working on more change, because guess what? You wanted a whole different future now from a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So as you came through, it's like how you are at a point where you can turn around and pass the torch and reach a hand and say, listen, A, B, and C is D. And despite how they came for you, you took maturity and put it in the room. You still use their language. Why? Because you met them where they're at. To pull them to where you're at. That's just an example of how it's supposed to happen. Why? Because you went through something. And you had to, just like this person here said, they have to take care of their own mental business for themselves. You said, I need to take care of my mental business. And I always commend you on that. Because you took care of your mental business.
You're one of my biggest supporters.
Not only did you take care of your mental business, you just said, check this out, I got dreams and goals now. And you're working towards them. And I commend you. I commend you.
You know what started that? Really, is what you said earlier. When I realized I was just existing and I wasn't living. Right. When I realized the difference in that, that's when I started to understand I have to make something. I gotta make some shake, and I gotta, it can't have the same flavor.
Right.
Yeah. So you're right. I appreciate you so much, man. Like I said, you was one of my biggest supporters. You always just pushing me, telling me to, I was on my rah-rah back when or whatever. And that always stuck, man. Is existing, living, like. And you know what? I stay taking your stuff, man. Meet them where they at. That's one of my new things, man. I be running down on people with that, man. And it helps though. It really gauges the conversation better. For real. And another thing I learned, to disarm people. You got to learn how to disarm them. You know what be messing people up? And you be like, I love you, man. That be messing people up. They don't even know how to react. I love you, bro. Come on. We're not going to keep doing this.
Right.
And they be stuck. I'd be like, that's dope. I'm going to keep doing that.
Right. Because people are always on the defensive.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, they're always on the defensive. They're always sensitive, right? But when you give them that hug and that love, man, listen, that's a new era right there.
That takes them off center for real. It really does.
Sweeps them straight off their feet.
That's what I like to do.
So I thank y'all so much for coming on tonight. It's always a pleasure. Thank you everyone for coming in to listening to us tonight on the Where's My Kings? Yes, indeed. Where is my kings? Y'all are right here. Y'all keep on talking and keep on showering and keep on sending that love. So thank y'all so much for coming by. Yes, indeed. Thank you again. This is Ilyasah Simpson, aka Coach Illy, aka Minister Charge. And I want to remind everyone that I have a website, www.thechargeroom.com. I also have a new behavioral workbook coming out this month of April. I'm going to put it up on Amazon so you can get it on Amazon, but I'm gonna let everybody know when it will be available. And I'm super excited about it because we have to be a part of our own process, the process of wanting change in our lives and understanding that no one is perfect. We are imperfect people living in an imperfect world, but what we can start to do is meet the include those help this world be a better place by spreading love, having forgiveness in your heart, and just being a person that can share and care and be a student always. Come on. No one is the smartest person ever. You can learn from anything, any person, any place, and anything. So again, thank you for coming by. My name is Ilyasah Simpson. Have a great